What is up, everybody? It's Alex from Title Boxing Club in Rochester, New York, with your focus point of the week. Now, last week I talked about how every punch, no matter which punch it is, no matter what you throw, the very first thing that activates is below the belt. That is true. But of course, that doesn't mean that it's all happening down there. We're using our upper body as well. And actually, one thing that people may be surprised to know is that, for instance, if I throw a lead hook with my left hand, because I'm right-handed, you might think, well, only the left side of my body is doing work, right? I mean, of course, I always tell you, keep the non-punching hand up, but it's not necessarily true. Steph, as you may remember, some of you may remember, had surgery last summer. Last summer, she had surgery on her left shoulder. She couldn't use it. She could use her right hand just fine, couldn't use her left hand. Eventually, she started coming in and we taught some classes online. She was hitting with her right side, but she noticed it was still hurting her left shoulder to hit with her right side, and not just because things are being jarred, because you actually do use your other side of your body. So for instance, right, if I'm throwing a cross, so I throw that cross right out there, I'm not just bringing my left shoulder forward, turning my head, turning my heel, I'm also pulling my left shoulder back. You may not do that, but it's something I want you to try to do. Don't just think of it as right shoulder forward, think of it as pulling the left shoulder back and throwing that cross. This is, again, if you are right-handed. If you're left, it's obviously switched around. So you're pulling that shoulder back. When you throw a jab cross, as you pull the jab hand back, you're pulling the cross hand forward. Lead hooks, too, same kind of thing. You're not just using your left side. What you're doing is pulling back with that right shoulder to shift that weight back. I always talk about bringing that weight onto that back foot when you throw a lead hook. One way to do that, besides just turning the hips, is think about pulling that right shoulder back into the lead hook. So we don't just push when we box, we don't just push the bag, we pull as well. Pulling, not only to bring our hands back, sets up the next punch in those combinations. So I want you to try to use your whole body, even when you're throwing just one hand, and see what you think. See if you notice a difference. I guarantee you, if you can do that, your technique will be better. And of course, I always guarantee you that technique is everything.